Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Wednesday. It is the 15th of September. I hope that you are safe and well and blessed this morning. I hope you've been able to be a witness for Christ this week and that you will continue to be a witness for Him throughout the rest of this week. I'm going to read to you this morning. This is in the New International Version. 2 Corinthians chapter 12. I'm going to start in about the middle of 9 and read through verse 10. These are Jesus' words. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. And then Paul says, therefore I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. That is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weaknesses, in insults, in hardships, in persecutions, and in difficulties. For when I am weak, then I am strong. God add His blessing to the reading and hearing of His word this morning. If there is one thing that we all love and need at some point, is power. Whether it's a pickup truck, whether it's a circular saw, or even an oven that can cook a turkey in a couple hours. That'd be cool, huh? Or a vacuum cleaner, that can suck the padding through your carpet. Having power in your hands is an exhilarating experience. My son and his Mustang would say exactly the same thing. He loves that power. But sooner or later, you're going to experience a power failure. Maybe your marriage is in trouble. Maybe you'll have to watch one of your parents suffer slowly from something such as Alzheimer's. Or maybe something will happen at work and you lose your job. Being powerless is everybody's nightmare. Every person's nightmare. We cannot stand watching a bad situation unfold, excuse me, and not be able to do anything about it. Since we were little kids, we've been taught to take charge, to make things happen. We study the problem, figure out what's wrong, and then we do whatever it takes to solve it. It's too bad that life doesn't always cooperate with that scenario. And you don't have to be a Christian very long to find out that we are not immune to trouble. In fact, many of us have more problems than non-believers. So what do you do when you can't make things right? What do you do when you have no power and all you can do is stand on the sidelines and watch? Well, we tend to take an either-or view of Christianity. We believe that if only we followed Christ, He'll give us the power to plow through life with, and nothing will stop us. Or we believe that we're in a passenger seat just along for the ride and that God doesn't need us to do anything. And I think maybe the truth lies somewhere in between. As you read the Bible, you see that great heroes of faith like Abraham and Joseph and Moses and Joshua and Gideon, they were active. They did their part and learned to get out of the way when it was time for God to do His part. They were both doers and watchers. And I think that's what we need to be. Yet the kind of watching that they did wasn't a passive watching. it was active because of what was going on inside of them. These great men, they lived out their trust in God. They saw his power working in their lives because they learned how to surrender. And that's the key to surviving life's power failures. The amount of God's power in our lives is directly proportional to how much we surrender to him. No surrender, no power. Little surrender, little power. Total surrender, unlimited power. It's simple, really. God can't fill a heart that's full of itself. And in our pride and in our arrogance, a lot of times that's how we are. Surrender is scary. I understand it. Surrender is scary. It goes against our nature. In every endeavor in life, surrender is a bad thing. But in our relationship with God, surrender is essential. Part of the problem is we don't believe this until we hit rock bottom. Until we get into one of those power failures where our own power is worthless. And even then we fight against it. We're too stubborn to let God take control. Surrender is just so distasteful to us that we go through unnecessary misery rather than give in to God. Our pride prolongs our agony, and you know what? Satan just loves that. Understand that spiritual growth is gradual. We don't go from being a fresh-faced convert to a mature saint in one easy step. And if we're wise, though, we begin to give God opportunities to demonstrate his faithfulness. We step out by degrees, if you will. Most of us are too bullheaded to do it any other way. Now, over the years, we learned that God can be trusted, not only in the small things, but in life's worst tragedies as well. And this idea of surrender becomes a proven reality in our lives. And like the Apostle Paul, we discover the true meaning of when I am weak, then I am strong. Our Christian faith does not guarantee that every tragedy will have a happy ending. But God does promise to pour out his power into our lives to the degree that we let him. And once we make that truth our own, it will help us survive every power failure that we have to face. I'm Pastor Mark. Love you guys. Be safe. Be well. Be blessed. Be strong. Keep the faith. I see you. Go do something for Jesus, and I'll see you tomorrow.